Hello, my creeping it colorful friends. My name's Lori, and it's been a while. Long time no see. It's been a crazy week for me. Things are just moving along, and I'm trying to muddle my way through it. And so I decided I needed to just come on and at least do some kind of an appearance to let you know I'm still here and that I have an idea for tomorrow. Tomorrow is my backgrounds on a budget series, and I have an idea that I'm working on, and I'll probably put it up early in the morning. Um, but it's an idea my husband gave me, and I'm willing to try it and see what happens and see if it's a plausible solution to a background effect. Enough of that. You'll see all that tomorrow. And I just want to come on and say, I'm on that mythographic, I can't remember. Why can't I remember things? Getting old is getting ridiculous. It's a mythographic group on Instagram, and we're going to be working through the mythographic series with different books. And if you don't have the book that the page is picked out of at that time, they also have a scavenger hunt where you can go through all your mythographic books and find these items on this list that are in a page in another book to submit. So far we have done the mythographic Wild Winter was the first book that was picked, and this was the page that we were to work on. I really had this was a bugger for me. I had an idea in my head of how I wanted the background. So I did the background first. I thought, I'm going to do the background. It's going to look cool. All right. And then as I finished everything else, because I struggle with doing snow and ice. And so I was like, okay, this is going to be fun, but I actually put a lot of sparkle on it, so I was able to pull that off a little bit. So I had fun coloring this, and then I thought, you know what, I want to go for I don't really know what kind of bird this is, so I'm just gonna give it a kind of pastel look, right? So I'm coloring it, right? And I'm getting all into it, and this is one where I did my gel pen outline and I smeared it, and it started to look cool in the feathered areas and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, this is gonna look pretty. And then I was doing it, and I'm like, oh crap, it matched the background. I like that. I like the pastels so much that I actually made made it match the background, so it was like there was no contrast. The birds, like, if it wasn't for their eyes, you probably wouldn't have known they were there. So then I got upset, and I'm like, oh, now what am I going to do for a background? So then I went in and I was doing something else with the background, and I was like, oh my god, looks really bad. This is a horrible color. And I'm like, oh gosh, I'm just going to have to go get another book. So I went to Aldi's to look for the book. They didn't have any more. I'm like, okay, if I don't get this book, I'm going to be behind on this. So one day when I had time and I had patience, where I pulled them out of, I have no idea. But I had patience that day. Thank goodness. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to take a black acrylic pen, and I'm just going to go over everything. Black is the solution. It's going to cover it all. So I did. And then I got my watercolors out. And the one watercolor, let me get it out here. In this set that I had, this was gotten on Amazon. It was a gift. It was gifted to me. It was on my wish list a long time ago when I painted rocks. But I love this, and I'm going to have to try to find this again, because it came with all these goodies. A little tray you could use, a little sponge for when you do your pen, because here's your water pen, and to brush it off the end there and clean it up a bit. And then you got two different swatch palettes, one for on a dark and one for on light. And these are all like metallic colors, and I am so I use a lot of these, as you can tell. So I used, let me see if I can remember which one. It was Magic Wand. If you can see how the Magic Wand looks. This one right here. It's like a teal. And that would have been, you know, it's funny because it doesn't look like that. This is what it looks like before it goes on paper. It's actually white iridescent. But once it hits the paper and it goes on a black paper, it's teal color. So I thought, in keeping with the blue scheme of things, I will put that over top. And I'm pretty sure you can see it. See it in there? It's in the background. When you lay it flat, you see it, but only because my light's shining upon it. But yeah, this was a doozy, because when I did the back, you can see that was my background color. So I did it in chalk pastel, and I thought I was getting a jump on things. Actually, the outside here, you can't really see it, but it's faint, but it is the pastel color, the blues and pinks and stuff. So this was my submission for our first mythographic page. And there are a lot of people in that group, and I'm really not an Instagrammer so much. I'm not really active. That was one of my goals this year, to be more active on Instagram. So I'm going to just take a picture of this and post it on my Instagram. And in that group, I already did that. And there are beautiful versions of this painted. And those scavenger hunt pages where they didn't have this book and couldn't do this page, or they chose not to do this page and wanted to do a different page, that was the option. Oh my gosh, they are so pretty. Oh my god, it's amazing. It's amazing how many different interpretations there are of one page. It's just amazing how that happens. And so in that group, there was a lady who said that she has had trouble with this book, her mythographic Wild Winter book. Her pages are coming out. And I'm like, oh my god, I know what she means. This page, the very first page I've done in this book, and it came right out of the book. I mean, it's not on the perforated part. It was right on the seam. And she said about 5 of her pages came out. And I was like, oh my god. Yeah, okay, I'm not the only one out. And I wasn't even rough on it. I mean, that was the first page I ever did it. But I have a tendency, like when I'm doing them, is I'll push it down so that I can get in like this and get in all the way to the edge. And I thought, oh, I must have been really rough on it. Well, I come to find out that happens. And it wasn't just me. But some of the ladies suggested that she take her book. I guess what she suggested she does is actually takes it somewhere to get it bound, and it'll be like a little spiral binding on it, and like staples. She said some staples do that, and I never knew that, and I'm like, oh, that'd be so awesome, because I really don't want to lose my pages. I really don't want to have to buy another book. I really would like to keep this the way it is. I want to be my original self in these. Not, oh, I got to get another book because it keeps falling apart. I lost the page. Now what do I do? So she said that what the person should do is take the book, take all the pages out of the book, and put them in the order that they are, take them to Staples, or if there's some other kind of store in your area, look it up, Google it, see if there is, and you can get them cinched and bound with a spiral. Now, I'm going to show you what I did with mine, because I did junk journaling. Hold on one second. And I found this book at a yard sale. And this book that I had of Kirby Rosanis, and it was Color Morphia. And this book didn't have all its pages, but I bought it anyway because I love his work, and I didn't have this book, and the book just, it like fell apart. And I had done junk journaling. It was my venture, my thing right before this, back into adult coloring. And I had books. I had a sketchbook, I believe it was. It was a black sketchbook. And I had several of them. And this one had a spiral binding here that fit the size of this book. So what I did was I took that out. I have the black to the side that I can do whatever with those pages. But I took it out, and this is the back part of that book. This is the back. And see, I could pull it apart and slip it through these holes and add pages if I wanted to. But so I took all those pages apart, and then I took a paper punch, and I punched all along here. I took this, put it on the paper. Well, actually what I did was I took one of the pages from the sketchbook that had the holes in, and I took a pen and I marked each hole, where each hole would be. And so I punched them by hand. Now, there weren't that many pages, so I wasn't that upset about it. But now I have this book that fell apart, and I have it into this. That was my own doing. That was my own way. I'm not happy with the fact that it takes a big spot of this on, and I'm delving into the actual pages, which these don't matter as much as your coloring pages are. This one's not bad because there's nothing right up against, but I'm pretty sure that some of these I am like this. My only thing I would do with this is, and this is just me because I would want it colored to the edge, is I would take the time to take it out of the book. And if I know I'm going to be doing this double page spread, I would take it out of the book, color it, and then put it back in. So it's all colored up to the edge. Now, there are quite a few pages, see, like this, that I don't have to worry about that. Maybe when I do a background or whatever, but that still, I mean, that won't be too hard. This one I'd have to. The double page spreads, I think, are the ones that are really going to be the ones that I'll probably have to take out and work on. And that's what I'm seeing here. But I did this before they even said anything in the mythographic. But I'm like, oh, I didn't even know that Staples and those places did that. And now that I know that, and when I have the funds to do that, I will probably do that, because I really do not want to do what I did in this book and actually poke holes in the artwork. Now, these are all the pages that were left in that book. There weren't many pages left. I got it for maybe $1 at a yard sale, and I didn't want to pass it up because it was Kirby's, and I didn't have this book. And until I can actually purchase this book, this is my version of it. Until I can actually get the book for myself, this is what I'm going to have. And I'm going to be able to experiment and whatever on it. And, yeah, until I can get the actual full book in all its glory. this is what I will use. But it was a good lifesaver. Saved the book a little bit. But yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know, in case you don't know. It was like my mind was blown. I couldn't believe. Actually, I remember somewhere, somehow, I don't know where I had seen it. It had to be on YouTube somewhere, but I'm not sure, because they were photos, they weren't actual videos, unless somebody just posted something. Anyway, I remember this lady, she had 3 books on her lap. She was showing, and she made the comment, on the way to getting these spiral bound, and it didn't click in my mind then. I'm like, I don't know why I wasn't thinking that you could actually go someplace and actually have it done for you, you know? Well, now that I know that that is an option, I will definitely look into it. As you see, I could go this route again with this book, because I have like 2 or 3 more of these, but I do not. And I know I could, because these have like this white edge. I know I could do that, but I'd rather have it done nicely than me just doing it this way. Let me just say, I have that option if I don't have the funds to do it at a Staples or at a place that actually does it. I do have that option. I know how to do it this way, and that in this book it wouldn't matter, because these do not have, I don't have to worry about it being all the way up to the end. So I could, but to me it's just the idea. I would rather have it done nicely than me just finagle my way through it. But we'll see what happens. We'll see how my funds happen, and if life happens and I need to be able to do it myself. I know how to do it, but I would much rather be doing it in a nicer way, to respect the books and the artists. And that's my video for today. I hope I let some of you in on the best hidden secret. But it's not really a hidden secret, because it was shared. But I'm pretty sure there's going to be at least one other person out there going, huh, that's good to know, just like I did. And I'm happy that I was able to enlighten you on this little journey of what happens when your books fall apart. And they're not sewn books, they are glue bound books. And I know about that stuff, doing the junk journaling, and that's why whenever I did junk journaling, I always got books at that had these kind of spines, so that whenever I made junk journals, I was able to do them a lot easier than other people have, because when they do them in a book that's bound, like sewn together, or because you can sew yours together, or glued, or whatever you want to call it. When you do it out of a composition book, it's a lot harder, because the stuff is not sewn in. You're doing it from the pages in the composition book, so it is a lot harder, and it doesn't give you much leeway. The book gets fatter and sits funnier. When you're doing it with a spiral bound spine, your pages lay flat for you to do your journaling, and there's not as much bulk, and as it gets bigger, but it's an even thing. It's not like your book is sitting like this where it's all awkward and stuff. It's more even, and you can control how many pages you put in there to make it nicer. So I have a little bit of a background in that, so that helps. But like I said, we always have a nice community here that is willing to share little tidbits to help others out along the way. There's no judgment. We all do what we do. We all get excited over the little things and the big things, of course. And it's like a learning process, and it's fun because it's not judgmental. And that's the way it should be. You do you, you have fun doing it, and you make your books your way. You do your videos your way. You do what makes you happy and what's fun for you, less stress. And this is one community that I know of that doesn't stress me out. I stress myself out, but they don't. None of you guys have ever stressed me out on any of your videos, on any of your styles, and anything in this community. Nothing has ever stressed me out. The only thing that stresses me out is my own mind. If I get stuck on something, or I'm like in a tizzy over something, but I always work it out, and I don't try to share my stress in that moment of what I'm doing. I try to make it fun. I try to make it a happy experience, because that's what it is. It's enjoyable, and it's a great hobby, and it's a way of you, even if you're not an artist. Now I sketch, I draw, I paint. So I do everything I look at, to me, can be a canvas. So coloring to me is just an easy way for me to express how I would interpret that page. Instead of me being the original artist, someone else is providing their art, and I'm interpreting their art in my way, even though they may have a different idea of how they would have liked their art to be portrayed. I have my own unique way of doing it. Everybody's got their own unique way of doing it, whether they do it with crayons or pencils or alcohol markers or watercolor. Whatever medium you want to use, whatever style you want to use, however you want to express yourself is what you do when you color. And this community is great because everybody seems, no matter, and there's some excellent artists out there. I mean, oh my God, the ideas that come from their minds and are put onto paper are amazing. But it doesn't stress anybody out that these people are amazing, because these people don't judge. They do themselves, and they love the fact that people love how they're doing it and follow them, and they're helping and they're inspiring. And so it's always like you're never worried that you're not good enough, or that someone's going to critique you or say that, wow, I can't believe she colored it like that. What was she thinking? Who are they to do that to that picture? You know, none of that. There's never any of that. It's always like, wow, I never thought of that. Hey, that was a good twist on that. Man, you did a good job. That's not bad for what media you used. And, like, it's like a group of people with like minds, but expressing themselves differently, and it comes out in their coloring, in their technique, in their personalities. I mean, it's awesome. I'm glad I'm a part of this community. Thank you for accepting me into this community, which I believe everybody and anybody's accepted into this community. So with that, I would like to also say thank you for subscribing to my channel. I'm not a very big one, but I hope to be sometime, and I hope I'm inspiring some people, giving them ideas that they didn't have, having fun with it along the way, or, just sharing what I like to do. My relaxation is the coloring, and I am so happy I got back into it after so long of a time, and it's a really the best stress relief, and the best avenue, best community, best everything. Thank you so much for stopping by today. I was glad I could pop in and just give you a little tidbit, little something. And like I always say, please stay healthy, stay safe, stay warm, stay happy, stay colorful, stay creepy like me. And give me a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe if you haven't. Comment if you'd like to. Share if you'd like to. And I shall see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye for now.